Hi, I'm Lars Bergstrom with Curtis Stokes & Associates. Today I'd like to introduce you to Eleanor Grace. Eleanor Grace is a 1985 Chris Craft Constellation 500. She's a flush deck motor yacht with an aft cabin and an aft cockpit. This boat has been meticulously cared for and it shows inside and out. If you come take a look, I'll show you what I mean. From the hull up to the fly bridge, you can see the gel coat and paint is shiny and in excellent shape. Every detail has been looked after, including the emblems, all the soft goods, stainless steel is polished. She's really in great shape and ready to go. Getting aboard is made very easy by the Marquip boarding ladder. If you're at a dock that's not a floating dock, you can forego the boarding ladder and step right under the flush deck. So no matter what docking situation you encounter, you're going to find that boarding Eleanor Grace is a breeze. So Eleanor Grace has a nice overhang over the door, the entrance to the cabin. Plenty of standing headroom. Again, you can see how highly polished she is, really in excellent shape. The decks going forward are nice and wide. The railing is high enough to be safe and secure, and it keeps that way all the way forward. The foredeck is large enough for ease of handling the anchor and the dock lines and for hanging out. It's got a wonderful lounge area here with new upholstery. Just perfect for sitting back and enjoying the day. She has a nice sized Delta anchor on all chain rode with the original windlass has been restored. She's got up and down switches on deck and then again at the helm and the fly bridge. Speaking of the fly bridge, let's go take a look. Getting into the pilot house is convenient from either port or starboard side. Every boat has a compromise. The biggest compromise I can see on this vessel is the ladder up to this fly bridge as opposed to steps. So that's something that you may want to consider. Other than that, I don't see many compromises in the boat. If you're up to climbing a few rungs of a ladder, she's worth looking at. Up a few rungs of the ladder brings us to a very spacious fly bridge, seating for 6 to 8 people. The decking has been redone. It's in very nice shape. Really nice helm chair has been added. The electronics are a little dated, but all work fine. You've got a large chart plotter Array Marine E120 up here, and then a small version down at in the pilot house. The canvas here is 2 years old, but it actually looks in much better shape than a 2-year-old enclosure and canvas. They obviously take very good care of everything. Even this chair I'm really excited about. It's soft ultra leather, very heavy duty, very luxurious. This is a nice addition here. In addition to the amount of seating that you have in the fly bridge, we also have the aft deck, the sun deck behind the fly bridge. Large enough to make a nice patio. It's got a sunfly that can be deployed for shade when it's hot, and easily room for 4 people. On the sun deck here, you can see the winch here. That pulls up the davits for the dinghy. It's got its own dedicated battery with solar panel. So the really nice 12-foot inflatable can be easily hoisted on the heavy-duty davits with the electric winch. So that's pretty much the exterior of the boat, from hull, decks, cockpit to fly bridge. Let me take you down below and we'll look inside. Just down from the fly bridge or in from either port or starboard side deck is a spacious pilot house, comfortable seating, a really well laid out instrument panel. You've got a nice sized destroyer wheel. The throttle and gear shift controls are in easy reach. You've got excellent display of all the gauges, RPM, engine hours, 3,200 hours on the Detroit 6 V92s. Here you have control of your bilge pumps, your wipers, your running lights and nav lights and engine lights. And then just below there you've got your distribution panel for your 12-volt system. All the way over to the right you have the energy monitoring system for the Xantrax. And up above in plain view is the VHF and a newer version of the Raymarine chart plotter. This is a touch screen down here. So pretty much full controls, everything you need to navigate down below. And windshield wipers work. So everything looks good here. Like the rest of the boat, the bulkheads, the cabinetry is all done in a nice satin finished teak. Carpeting is in excellent shape. Headliners, like, just flawless. Really beautiful interior. Another unique thing about this vessel is the second salon right behind the pilot house. And this area is climate controlled. You've got excellent visibility, 360-degree panoramic view, nice seating. The sofa is built up on a pedestal with hinges, so the sofa can tilt forward and allow you extra storage. You have nicely upholstered seating. This fabric is actually really nice ultra suede. You've got a beautiful antique table for dining or working, and beautifully upholstered chairs. This does convey. And on the forward side of the salon in the pilot house, you've got your wet bar area. There's a little mini fridge, ice maker, little TV, and in here is a wet bar. Currently the water has been disconnected to this, but it could be hooked back up and you'd have a full service wet bar here as well. Another unique thing to this vessel is it actually has a cockpit aft, and right out the door here with a nice little teak drain pad should you come in wet. The small cockpit is perfectly wide enough to maneuver in and handle dock lines. You've got protection from the overhang on top, and a ladder leads you down to the swim platform, so you can get access to the from the tender aboard quite easily from the swim platform up to the ladder and into the pilot house salon. All the windows are nicely tinted. All the window frames are in excellent shape. Aluminum window frames show no signs of corrosion. The rubber gaskets around the windows haven't shrunk up yet. Everything on this vessel pretty much looks like it stood still in time. It shows like a much newer boat. And from the cockpit, it's easy enough to get forward back into the salon. So on the port side here in the pilot house, you have the companionway. He's got it hooked up so that you can actually close off the companionway if you don't want to climate control this area. So it allows you to close off the rest of the boat and save on your cooling bills. But otherwise you've got a nice wide open companionway 3 steps down. The main salon on Eleanor Grace is it's full width of the boat. You've got good standing headroom. Every detail is in excellent shape, from the satin woodwork, the headliner, the carpet, all the furniture and upholstery is in excellent shape. It's a space that's big enough to accommodate several guests, but it doesn't feel like you're going to get lost in here. You can still sit down and be, intimate with your guests. There's storage throughout the boat, up and down both sides of the salon. Every space that could be used has been. Forward of the main salon is a nice little dinette, breakfast nook area. a couple stools, and additional cabinetry for the galley as well. The mirrored wall forward kind of gives it the illusion of even more space and light. It's one step down into the galley. The galley's been redone, new porcelain countertops. They resist staining better than anything. Porcelain's harder than granite. This is the latest thing you'll see going in boats and houses now, porcelain countertops. It's only a 2-burner stove, but we have a 2-burner induction stove. It saves a lot of energy. You've got a full-size microwave oven and a Cuisinart oven / air fryer. So small but functional galley and plenty of counter space for creating meals. One basin sink is large and deep enough to handle most of your cleaning needs in the galley here. The fixtures, like everywhere else, we've got new fixtures, nice tile, and again the satin finish on the teak's still wonderful. You'll note a full-size apartment size refrigerator. Freezer is stainless steel Frigidaire. Lots of room. This is probably one of the largest refrigerators I've seen on a boat this size. And the parquet floor is in fantastic shape. Cabinetry, as I said, pretty much everywhere. They've used every bit of space that they can. Even in the foyer, going forward to the other cabin, you've got the trash can tucked in a nice cabinet there, and cabinet for pantry and whatnot. Forward from the galley brings us to the guest cabin. One of the nice features here is an actual full-size washer and dryer, stackable units. This is something you can actually use. Stepping in, we've got plenty of headroom, and then forward we have the ensuite head. You've got separate shower. To starboard is the basin with new fixtures, new tile, new flooring, and electric head to port with plenty of storage, and opening port for ventilation. The shower is good enough size, and it can close off so you have separate shower. You don't get the head all wet when you're taking a shower. The forward guest berth is our cabin is made up of 2 twin berths, under over, a good amount of space so you don't feel too cramped in there, and extra headroom at the aft end of the bed. So if you're sitting up and reading, you're not too crowded. On the other side behind the door is a hanging locker, and of course the washer and dryer that we spoke about earlier, easily accessed from here. Again, just a couple steps up brings you back to the galley. Just a couple steps down to the foyer for the rest of the living quarters. Even cabinetry under the steps. They really used every bit of space they could. Still good headroom, wide enough to navigate easily. To let's see, that's to starboard now is the second guest / office. This room really got my attention. It's a good size. You've got a nice little desk, lots of cabinetry, good little office space, and you have 2 bunks. Now, the top bunk easily converts. And then you have a nice sitting room with a sofa, and there is a little closet in here as well. So if you want to have guests or you want to keep it as your office, this room is very versatile for a third cabin. Directly across the foyer, and then back into the master, this is my favorite part. Full width master gives you lots of room. The bed's larger than a queen bed, but not quite a king. All of the wall coverings are in excellent shape. You do have some windows on either side to get you some natural light. Again, lots of storage everywhere. The carpet's in excellent shape. A nice little vanity here. This room is also set up with new digital thermostats for the air conditioners. There's an escape hatch here which goes up to the second salon above. And again, plenty of cabinetry. The mirrored doors here open to reveal a nice little step-in closet, all cedar lined. Plenty of room for all of your garments. You've got television here and its own private master head. Good size walk-in head. Separate shower, again with the seat. So the rest of the head stays dry while you shower. The countertops, tile, fixtures, and the heads have all been upgraded, replaced. They're in great shape. And then just forward of this head, you'll find the day head. It's a little smaller than the others, kind of a half bath. You have windows behind the mirrored cupboards here. There is a shower, but it would be a wet head, and I don't think it gets used as that. So this is just sort of your half bath day head. All right, here we are in the engine room of Eleanor Grace Chris Craft Constellation 500, powered by twin Detroit 6V92 two-cycle diesel engines. They put out 550 horsepower each. The engine room has a decent amount of space in it. It's easy to access the items that you're going to need to maintenance on a regular basis. The dipsticks are both lead inboard. I can see just by looking around, I see quite a bit of new hoses and fittings. It's obvious that she's been regularly updated. Some of the big ones are the water feed hoses, look like they're new. I would say the engine room's in decent shape, and I don't expect any trouble to come from here. At the very most, it could stand a little touch-up painting here and there. But I think everything is well organized, easy to get to, and for the most part well kept. On either side of me, there's the traditional stuffing boxes. There is bonding on the shafts, brush bonding on the shafts. The stern tube hoses and clamps all look in good shape. You've got the Glendenning synchronizer above me, synchronize the engines. And I can see by the overhead here that if you pull the carpet up, all of these hatches will come out should you have to do any major work on the engines. So they've incorporated the batteries into the floor of the boat, basically made battery boxes that you can walk on top of. Here we have nice new, these batteries were just replaced as well as all the others. These are Duracell 8D batteries, 2 for each engine, starting batteries. There are also new batteries for the house and the generator. That's it. It's fairly simple engine room. There's not a ton of stuff in here, which actually I like. Just forward of the engine room is a separate compartment for storage and where the generator sits. It's a 20 kW Onan generator. About 3,100 hours, I think, something like that. 20 kW is plenty of power to run all 5 air conditioners and everything, every system on the boat. So even away from the dock, you won't have any problem running all the amenities that she has on board. Your seawater strainers here right behind me. You can see not a long run from the seacock to the strainer to the inlet. So if you do have to replace the hoses, you're not looking at long runs of them. There's 2 bilge pumps in this engine room, another bilge pump forward of that, and 3 other bilge pumps besides that. So plenty of action on the bilge pumps. There's tons of storage. You can see the new battery box. That's where the new house batteries are. Again, you see the 20 kW genset, and just space for storage if you need it. On the other side of the hall is the 6-gallon water heater. Yes, so over here you have the this is the cooling water for the air conditioners. This goes to a manifold and cools all air conditioners. The pump behind that is a high volume, heavy duty water pressure pump. It's not your typical boat, marine pressure pump. You'll find that a pump this size runs all the showers and fixtures. It's not like you've got to take turns. And then that feeds to a brand new 6-gallon water heater. The fuel tanks, either side behind the engines, you can see are aluminum. They're exposed so that you can see them and inspect them, and they're free of any corrosion or pitting that I've seen. So I like that the fuel tanks are exposed so they can be inspected. That's a big plus in my book. So all in all, between the engine room and the generator room, plenty of additional storage, and room for at least one person to get around in. And I find it's going to be easy to maintenance these engines with this situation. So that's Eleanor Grace. She is again a 1985 Chris Craft Constellation 500. The Constellation was the flagship of the line for Chris Craft for many decades. This one does not disappoint. She's been regularly updated, and everything aboard is in excellent shape. Some of the highlights are, of course, the high gloss finish on the exterior and the overall condition of everything from headliner to bulkheads to flooring on the interior. As far as the model is concerned, I really like the full width aft cabin. Couple that with an aft cockpit, which sometimes it can be hard to get both of those in one boat. The fly bridge is roomy, well organized, and the addition of the sun deck up there just gives so much more space to the vessel. I've heard it said these vessels are the biggest 50-foot vessels built, and this one I think meets that standard. The pilot house here is nicely laid out. All of the furniture is in good taste. The engine room, very well appointed. There's some touching up that needs to be done in the engine room, but it's in excellent shape. It's laid out very well, and it's good engines. The Detroit 6 V92s are known to run for 10-20,000 hours, so plenty of life left in those. All in all, I'd say you've got a really fine vessel from top to bottom, and it's a Chris Craft.